Yo, hello everybody. Let's get going. Let's let the Discord know we're live. Oh my dear. And stick it on X. I'm actually calling it X now, not Twitter. I'm getting there. It's happening. How much? Alright, let's see that load. Let's go. Hello! I can see the chat now. I am tired. It was a late one working on this. I am very tired. Tired and still a bit ill, so you're not going to get the best zoo today. But I am. I'm happy to be here. I've got a Red Bull in the freezer, chilling as we speak, which I'll get into in a bit. But I'm happy to be here and showcasing this. It's been a fun weekend. Yeah, and then I couldn't stop watching it. Hey, you're right. Yeah, so I was watching it last night when Price went live as well. Just working on a few things, making sure everything was laying out right. So what we've got here, day one means today. So anything that's day one, this is the probability. It's been created today. So the liquidity level was created today, and it's the probability of it being hit. And then anything that's day two, that was Friday's level, right? So this got created on Friday, and this is the probability on the second day of this level being taken. And then if we carry on down, you can see day two, day two, day two, day four, day four, day four, day four, day four, right? So it's just showing you those levels. So you can see here this level that we created when we came down and took out all those levels. Predominantly when we've created liquidity during this time, 90% of it gets of the time it gets swept. But this is our current daily low, and this is our current daily high. So the only thing I'd say, this is our current daily high. So the only thing I'd say is probably one of them, even though they're both high probability, right? Probably one of them isn't going to get swept. However, this internal liquidity that we can see, this one's a 90%. So we're in this sort of range here where we've got high probability levels. We have had an early sell signal, but we have taken previous candle high here. So we've got these three levels that were created, high probability to get taken out, and then potentially down to this 90%. Or we have obviously the levels above as well. yay, yay, yay. So what we had to do is we had to define the liquidity, right? What's the difference between this line and this line and this line and this line and all that type of stuff? Otherwise, you know, they're all just a level, aren't they? Need to mean something. So much like segments, we've just put it into time to say when it's created during this time, what's the probability? Well, does price in the same day take those levels, right? So it's now calculated on the levels and said when a level's created, what zone are we in? And then was that level taken during today's session? Yes or no? And then I have built in a custom time, so you can select a time period to say I want these zones and this time period. What's the probability they get hit during this time period? Because of course we couldn't just have the whole day. We want to know during this session or just period, what's the probability those levels get hit. So yes, that's already done. Not going to showcase that today though. We're just going to showcase our levels. So we've got most of our stuff on. Let me just come out. We've got our algo currently predicting bearish, all three accounts. We've had an early sell signal. It's not above 70%, so you know, not a high probability lazy boy. But if you did take it, you had liquidity below high levels, right? That these would get taken. We come up, tap into the imbalance that was left, drop down and take the low. So that lazy boy would have played out. How's everyone been? How's your weekend? I see we've had some trades already in the Discord, which is great. Are we ready for this week? Let's do our routine. Let's have a look at... let's just double check our news for the week. Okay, so we got CPI and PPI, Wednesday, Thursday. Blank day today. Blank day. Interesting. So we came up in the morning, right? Swept all the highs. Left all these high probabilities below. And then, as I posted last night, came back down, took them all out. So we've swept all those levels. On the way down, we've only created these three and then left the high. So it's going to be interesting. And then we've got these lows. So not a high probability. 18% at the time we come down there. Only 50% here. So it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. Yeah, Mark, mate, that beautiful spreadsheet. Where doesn't just we can't do justice to the quality. T was like, Mark's spreadsheet's so nice. Like, you can't post anything less than that, can you? Which will be interesting because your backtest was using the afternoon, was using the main signal, right? So we've backtested both for the early signal and the late signal, but only taking 50%. We haven't yet done the straight from the signal. So it'd be interesting data. Interesting data. What I can say is that the early signal was still very, very good. I think like November's data, it's like 72% win rate on the 50% retracement. I think it's like 100 trades, over 100 trades. Let's have a look. Is this it? Oh no, that's yeah. Oh, I've probably. Yeah, I haven't got it on. Well, it was a lot of trades anyway. It was between 60 and 100 trades and 72% win rate from the early signals with a 50% retracement. And that was with no confluence other than Algo and Algo above 70% and a signal. That was it. We are adding on all the other confluences so that we can filter by which confluence to see which impacts NQ the most. Yeah, of course I can. Of course I can. So, what we look for is an hourly. So, we're just looking at our Algo, right? And we have to set a definitive level to say, okay, if we want to be strict with our rules, what's the highest probability? What's the highest probability that we're happy with to take a trade from? So 70%. No, that's very kind of you, Mark. So 70% being that, okay, you know, if it's above 70%, it's gonna happen significantly more than not, right? So so 70% has been the kind of 70% has been the kind of level that we've said, okay, it needs to be above 70%. If you have a directional bias on the algo above 70%, then that gives you a advantage, right? That gives you a statistical advantage. Therefore, you can then look for a trade. So let's take, for example, that this hour right now was above 70%, right? So it was above 70%, which it's not, but let's say it was. You would then be looking for either you're going to be using early signals or both early and normal signals, right? And then what you'd be wanting to do is once you get a signal, you set a 50% level. So you can use fib or you can use box with the middle on, right? So if you go into your settings for your box, just put middle line, that gives you the 50%. So this is then the low, right? So this is the lowest point that we've had. And then this stays valid up until the 43rd minute. So on the 43rd minute, you want to cancel your limit order or don't take any of the trades because the data left for a new low, right? So if we're going to enter here, we're targeting a new low. We want to have above a 50% probability, really, as high a probability as we want, that price is going to come down and take that low, right? So up until about 43 minutes, which is the time that we've set, you can take the trade. Anything past that, you don't take the trade. So here, we'd have got tagged in here, right? So as long as the algo is still showing in the direction and 70%, then you take the trade at 50%, right? You put your stop at least 1-2 ticks, depending on the pair, right? Above the high, because that's the level we don't expect to go. And then you target the low. So your trade would look like this. right? And that's where you'd have got tagged there, right? This candle coming down, tags, 1R, done. And that's the lazy boy setup. Because a lot of the time, right, if price is going to reverse, a lot of the time it'll put a low, manipulate, take the low, and then go. And along with the data, it gives you a statistical advantage, right? Because at this point, there's a higher probability that your high for the hour is currently set, and there's more of a probability that price is going to go down if we are going to go bearish, because we have the probability. If I switch screens, hang on, I think it's this one, right? So if I put on high and low data, right? So if we know we're going to go bearish because the algo's giving us high probability bearish, right? Plus we've had an early indication to say that the low's been taken, meaning the high of the hour is currently in segment 1, which gives us already a probability advantage that this is our high for a bearish hour, right? And then when we go to take the trade, we need to get a new low, right? So if we're bearish, we need to get a new low. And then you've got all this data of if it's going to be a bearish candle, of when the low's going to be. So you've got less probability the high going and more probability the low going. So you're trading not an indicator, you're trading probability, you're trading the likelihood of something happening more than the likelihood of it not. So the algo gives you your confluence, and then the probability of how a candle forms gives you your trade, basically, which is your 50%. Now, a lot of the time, depending on the pair, there's different ways to trade it, right? So I'm just talking about NQ. There are some pairs where I don't take 50%. I'll just take the signal. And even in Mark's example, just taking the normal signal was very profitable. So this is just one way. There are different ways you can trade it, but this is just one example of a 1R trade and how you can trade it, right? So no worries. So the boot camp is going to be a lazy boy boot camp. So during the boot camp, it's going to be full 10 days, solid of going through the stats, going through the setups, the whole caboodle. And then it's all about everybody following the lazy boy setup. And that's what the boot camp's going to be. So we'll be going through the data that we're going to be using, right? Above the open, below the open, all that type of thing. So the boot camp's not going to be liquidity. Boot camp's just going to be lazy boy setups. And then obviously you'll have access to all of the stuff anyway. But if this is about passing prop firm challenges, getting payouts, then if you struggle with psychology, having the lazy boy setup is going to be the best way, because there's no bias, there's no you're right, you're wrong. It's just, if that happens, if this is all aligned, you're taking the trade. And then the more you trade it, you build up experience. So you need a base to start with that's going to help you be profitable. That base builds you confidence in your system, builds you confidence in your trading. Time on the charts builds experience. And then through that, you develop an edge of being able to take that system that you've got your foundation from and make it a little bit better. But that's the bit that kind of, without a good foundation that's already going to put you in the best position, then you're going to lose for a long time until you build up that personal experience. That's why Lazy Boy is so good. It's also built on nothing that's ever existed before, right? It's not a lagging algo. It's not an EMA or anything like that. It's based on the prediction of an outcome of a candle, right? If you're risking 10% on your challenge, right? Let's say you've got $3,000. Let's say you got let's just take $3,000 target, $2,500 drawdown. One, you don't want trade snapping back on you, right? So 1 hour is perfect because you're trailing drawdown. It's different once you've got into profit on your account and you haven't got trailing drawdown. But let's just talk about the first part of passing the challenge. So 1 hour trade makes you 250. So you're going to need 12 trades to pass your challenge, right? Now a lot of people will go, oh God, you're going to take me a month to pass a challenge. Depends how much you trade. Depends what your time window is. But let's say it does take you a month to pass your challenge. That is perfectly normal. If not, it's still pretty amazing, right? Because you've got to make $3,000 and you've only got $2,500, so you're making over 100% in 30 days, which is ridiculous, really, in trading. So having patience to not rush through your challenge and be done in a day is, when starting out, is a good way to go because it builds the right attitude. Most of the guys who do a lot of like sort of 20 Apex accounts, they'll just burn through challenges until they get their levels up. Yeah, exactly. It's more than possible with a month. With the right attitude, the right discipline, it's more than possible. And I know it's difficult. A lot of people haven't got time. And that's okay. Because you've got to start somewhere, right? If it takes you 6 weeks, it takes you 6 weeks. That's not a lot of time in the grand scheme of what the opportunity is for you. If it takes you 6 weeks to pass, and then it takes you 6 weeks to get your first payout, well, in 12 weeks, right, you've got your first payout. But that's one payout. Instead of trying to go faster, then you just scale your accounts, right? So now, let's say you got your $2,000 payout, right? Now, instead of $2,000, you've now got 2 accounts. You do the same thing, you make $4,000. You do it with 10 accounts, you got 20. You got 20. So without having to risk more or try go faster, just by scaling, having more accounts, that gives you the opportunity to do it, right? And everything takes time, right? You want to quit your job and do this. Well, you don't want to do that until you've had a year of taking payouts. Until you can really consistent, solid building it up. So there's no rush. When I built my businesses, I spent 2 years in front of a computer learning to do SEO, right? I spent 2 years just learning, nothing else, just learning. I then spent another year building and executing, and then another 6 months of growing it to a point where it could replace my income. Before I could leave, I'd done 3 years before I could leave my job. It takes time. But it takes dedication as well, right? Patience, dedication, and commitment. I'm a bit of a workaholic though, so. So what do we think about our liquidity levels? I'm very excited by it. Very excited by it. So let's have a look at. Should we have a look at some of the data? Should we have a look at some of the data behind it? How these levels are calculated. Shall we? Let's go up. It is. I'm gonna. So I've got one bug, right, that I need to fix. But other than that, it's working. So in the settings, where it's extends line here, you can't use end of day yet. I need to fix that. But I'm tired. So I'm like, well, it works. It works with current price, right? I just need to fix the labels and everything. So I'm happy with everything else. I've put the line colours in, right? So it changes the text. I've put the custom levels in. So I'll just show you the... hang on a sec. Let's just... let's bring up the table. It's a big table. I love building big tables. I don't know why. I looked at it and I was like, why have I built such this big table? I didn't need to do this. Let's turn the table on. Okay, so this is every hour. And what it's showing you is, in that hour, 50 levels were created. And by the time the daily candle closed, so the day period is based on a day candle, right? And it's based on Chicago time, because that's what the server uses apparently. Anyway, that's something else to work on, but it's based on Chicago time. So here you can see that's our close hour, right? So this is our day one, from here to there, and any liquidity that's created here would be day one. So that's why the probability drops right here. Look, see how the probability drops, it being completed in that day. But then in the next day, there's your Asian liquidity, right? You want to trade Asia. Here's your high probability liquidity levels for Asia, because that's then going to go into the next night, right? And then here's the beginning of the day. These are why these are so high probability, right? So you can see, of all the times liquidity was created during that time, what percentage, 91% of them, were hit in the day, and then basically the ones that were left never got hit over the next 5 days. Then you can see here, 94% got hit, and of the ones that were left, only 33 then converted, 33%. And you can see here, so these are the ones to take note for the next day, but you can see how the kind of the day current liquidity levels matter so much more around this time. So it's just showing you why these levels are more important than these levels. What's the difference between those two different liquidity levels? Well, if it's coming from this time period here, then you know that this is likely to get hit today, right? I don't think we've got any from, because they've already been taken. So you can see this is hour 3, right? So hour 3, 88%, and it's showing it over. It'd be like nearly 55 days, because there's generally only one liquidity level or two, so it could be 20 days, between 20, say 30 days, where it's done it. So we gave the liquidity, defined it a time period, so we could say if it's in this time period and it creates a liquidity, okay, now let's break it into when, today, tomorrow, what's the probability of it getting taken, which is what this is. And then behind me, let me just turn my camera off. So this is our custom time, right? So I can say from the hours of 0 to 7, what's the probability of those liquidity levels getting hit? So of the 383, 91% of them got hit. Right? And then I can only show levels from that custom time. So it'll remove any levels outside of that custom time. Then it'll keep them in. I can remove liquidity levels from past days. So let's only show today and ones from yesterday and today. So now it's only showing levels from that period, or up till 5. There's our custom time and day window, right? So I have tried to not just create the levels. I've added some features to it, so that we can do it. So you can see here, these are those levels, right? So hour 5, 51, 90% of them were taken on the first day. Came to me like about I can't remember, it came to me a while back, and I was like, this is how I could get probability by adding time. And now here we are. We have probability. And it's not just, what I like about it is it's not just London high or London low. It's not. It's based on the liquidity indicator, right? So the liquidity indicator is creating the levels. So there's no human interaction, right? So you're not going, I think this is a level, this has high probability. It's mechanical because it's done for you. So these are mechanical liquidity levels with probability built into them based off of historical data. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So let's get rid of the table. Free up some space again. So yeah, I'm going to publish this tonight. It'll still have that bug, so it'll be in beta. But it works, so I'm happy with what I've tested so far. So we've got half an hour until New York Open. Should we have a look at some other pairs? So CL, what was interesting about CL was that we've only got above, we have got a 40% level from 3 days ago, but we've got a lot more to the downside. Some quite high probability ones, like this one here, 94%, 93%, 91%, 92%. So, yeah, we are bullish. But we have just... Oh, hang on a second. We're now corrective bullish, right? So if we do switch bullish now, we know that these haven't got much draw. And this is much more likely for CL. My God, it's so awesome! Oh, it's so awesome! Oh, super cool. And if look at it, come and get them. High probability. Fucking love it. so cool. So that's CL. Let's have a look at gold. Everything's... Again, all the levels for gold have been hit previous. And now even the current high is down to 64%. So, yeah. Everything can't go bearish. Right? Can't have everything bearish. Well, so Euro's got some levels above. Sunday's low is 98%. Right? There's the low on Sunday. 98%. Oh, God. Don't go taking anything. Like, this is still like beta. We don't trade blindly on this, but yes, statistically speaking, Sunday's low here has got a 98% probability of it going today. Like, everyone's doing really well with the challenges. I don't want anyone fucking changing anything you're doing until we've got it completely nailed down, right? So, where's Sunday's low? 22. Was it created in 22? It was created in 22. Yeah, so you can see the 62 liquidity levels that were created, 98% of them were taken. But let's try and go into a little bit more detail on this, right? So we want 22, 23, and oh yeah, so it's not going to give us in. Definitely want to be able to create this into a custom time, not just today, right? It's already on my mind. Like, if we could say from now till the end of the day, what's the probability of that level getting hit? Other than just today, that'd be even more amazing. So yes, 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 yes. But yeah. What I don't know is just how quickly normally the Sunday low goes, right? But yes, there's a 98% probability. But I can't tell you much detail of that 98% probability at the moment. We go back to another Sunday. Monday. Sunday. So you just don't know, because this is a Sunday 22 level, right? And it was taken quite quickly, quite early on. Came back up and took it. So with it have not gone already, and then I think then what we need to do is we need to have throughout the day, so we know the probability of it going today, but then we need to have the probability of during the day, right? So it has most of the time it gone by this point. We'll get there. The thing you don't want to be doing is it's like swinging for the fences, though, right? There's all these levels here. We can take profit. You want to leave a little bit running, leave a little bit running. Just don't change where you're taking profit. I think like one of the biggest mistakes would be is just to continue just to hold a trade just because a level is there, right? Like you've got to take profit. What's made you profitable for a lot of people is not holding trades too long, still taking their profit. Like for example, it might be 99% probability of this level going. We might get on this trade, but we can still take profit before it doesn't have to reach it for us to make money. The fact that it might be prices driven to this level is enough for us to get 10 points, £200, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be that we profit at this point, because every time from where we enter is profit. This is all profit, so we don't have to just go. We only take it here, right? We'd be silly to do that. Why has it stopped? What's going on? There you go, it's running again. Counter stopped on 6E. Oh, there we go. So yeah. That's why I always say kind of like, if you've got levels and you've got other confluences coming about, like we're corrective bearish at the moment, yeah? So we're corrective bullish, sorry. So we're expecting to have a bearish hour. So which means that right now, potentially this liquidity isn't going to be the liquidity we go for, although we are now switching back. So it's not defined yet. We're above the zero line on dynamic TP. We've got a very strong trend. We've just broken the high of the previous hour. Like, you know, if we're going to go down, we have to break lows. If we're going to go up, we have to break highs. So we add the basics to this as well, yeah? We always keep our basics. It's just another confluence. For me, it's like I'll be looking at this with the lazy boy setup, because I've already got a really high probability setup, right? I can get into the trade and get into profit with high probability. It just means that if I've got a level below, I might be taking partial and aiming for some of those levels, right? And then it depends what sort of trader you are. You might, if you're an ICC trader, you know, you might see this inverse fair value gap, right? A lot of people trade these inverse fair value gaps. Yeah, so we've taken this low here. We're coming back up. We've taken this low. Would have been better if we took this low. We've probably taken it on. I wonder. No, so we've just taken this low. So people might like look at that as an opportunity, right, to target liquidity below. So it just depends on how you trade, how you can use those levels, how you get in on a trade, what are the confluences enough for you. We do have, who is it that trades inverse fair value gaps in the Discord? We do have someone who trades it. Is it Chisel? Can't remember. Maybe he's in on this trade, right? Inverse fair value gap. Although the liquidity, it's not in, the algo is not in our favour, right? So it's not in our favour. Right, so we've looked at gold. Let's check it, yes. So inside bar here, so an inside hour candle, right? We've traded inside. We've had an early sell signal. We've got an 88% probability of being bearish. We have tagged 50%. We've got an 84% probability level below, an 89. And then these are not super high probability. And our levels are above for ES. 90, 95, 89, 90. So ES, while we might get this lazy boy trade, right? Tap, take the low. Even just take this low. We are looking more top heavy for data than we are lower. They are 4 days old, 5 days old. So these are quite long ago. Nope. What did I do? Nope. I'm gonna have to find it now. Apologies. Oh my god. No. What was it on? Euro? No. Yes. Yeah. Plus we're above like this, right? Trend AI is bullish, bearish though. What have we gone? We've gone bullish, bearish, just went bullish, then transition bearish. Came back to this level. If we take the high, yeah, we take the high, so we're now getting early bullish. So yeah. See whether this high goes, and then potentially we've got plenty of levels above. Highest probability one is this one, the current high, which is 90%. These are all 89, good levels. 95. Waiting for New York. We didn't make the lows, so maybe New York will sweep these. See how they're clumped together, right? Make a nice sweep. This is our current daily low. Yeah. Yeah. So this is showing you that when we've created liquidity during this time, 85% of the time it gets hit. Now, if you kind of think of it, makes sense logically, right? Because the older in a day, the older it is, the more time it's got for price to hit it. Interesting though, that obviously not long before New York is down at 71%. And I think kind of there are days, right, where price just runs. So there's a lot of days where price runs, where it'll go, and then some of these levels just will never get taken, right? But those days we had them last week. I think we had 2 days last week. Was it 2 or 1 day where price was a bullish day, wasn't it? Where price just went, and all that data is included in this, right? And it's not 100%. That's why I say it's like look for your other confluences as well to show you that price wants to go in that direction, right? If we want to take bullish liquidity, like here yesterday, like today, we built up all these levels. They were all really high probability, right? We built up all these levels that were really high probability of being hit. We started the day, took out the levels to the top, and then the algo switched, right? And then we had bearish, high probability. We came down, took out all those levels. I think it's right, look how we've been very bullish here. Look, coming up, failed to go down, came above. We would not, if we're going to go, we'd normally see this at least push through these lows. We didn't take the previous low. We're now coming back above the 0 line. The only thing is we've got New York in like 8 minutes, right? So really need to just see that play out. So we've taken that liquidity level. So look, we've taken the high, taken that low but left the other lows, taken the high, and then we've got these 2 levels that we haven't taken, 3 now, including this one, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels built up. And we've got an 89, an 88. Now our current daily high and our current daily low, it's probable, isn't it, that one of these don't get hit, right? It's probable that one of them don't get hit. It's not likely we take the high and the low at this point. And that's where I think kind of when we get we're able to get more in depth with the data, not just for the day, but by what point in the day do these levels generally get taken. That gives us that'll give us another edge. Once my brain's back from no sleep, I'll then tackle creating a custom time. Do it as another table. I'll create a custom time table so you can hide that table and then just have your custom time that shows you the levels you've selected, the probability of them being hit during the time period you've selected. But yeah, it's reality, right? This is what I like. Like right now, how many times you see people targeting highs and they are taking, so we're taking profit there, we're taking profit there, and it's like, okay, what's the probability of that level getting taken? And this is still, it's great, it's incredible, but we can still do better, right? We can still do better. It's like this short here. If you'd have taken this short and we had all these levels below and you knew that there was high probability, it's like you're going to either partial your way through or take your first one and then trail, right? Until we get to that last level, that high probability level. Or leave the low, do you know what I mean, of the day. But if you can, it's all about getting into the trade, right? If you can get into the trade with high probability of price moving away from your entry, then there's your first win. And Lazy Boy does that. Lazy Boy will get you in with high probability of price moving away from your entry. And then if you have targets below, for example, that are high probability, you've got that option then to take it at the current low or trail price through. And even the other way, if you don't have high probability targets below and it's giving you a short, it might be that, okay, look, I'm not looking to, there isn't much below this, I need to be careful, right? Because we've kind of taken all the stuff already. All I'm looking for is a grab of the low and maybe a reversal. I think kind of, I've always said that the daily candle is different to an hourly candle in the way that they work, right? So the liquidity is day liquidity, because a daily candle, especially on NQ, doesn't work like an hour, because you've got London opening at the beginning, right? You've got Asia opening, London opening, then you got New York, which is the highest volume, right at like a third way through, more than halfway through the candle, you've got the highest volume kicking in. So think of it like it's a bad example, but think of it like 1:30, where you get news at 1:30 in the middle of an hour. Where are you expecting your high and low? Not at the beginning. You're expecting it when news kicks in, because that's where the high volume kicks in, right? And a daily candle's got the same thing. It has different volume kicking in throughout a day. An hour is only an hour. There isn't much changing from the beginning of the hour to the end of the hour. Volume is pretty static during that period. So that's why it's more consistent with the data of the low at the beginning, high at the end, right? As where with a day, price generally moves throughout. It's very common that you can get your high and low during the New York Open, which means that all those liquidity levels that we've created before New York generally get taken. We are more range bound as a market on the daily candle than we are on an hourly candle. Two minutes. That's why when you trade in the daily, if you're trading like a daily model, or you're looking at a daily model, all right, the previous high and low is a great trade. Once you've taken the previous day high and low, looking at a return back into the range, back into the current day. But because we're trading an hour, we can wait until we get that trendy hour. There might only be 3 of them in a day, right? Or 4 of them in a day. But we can wait for those, and the algo tells us when we get them. Those high probability moves where we get an hour where it just goes, right? We can wait for them. If you're waiting for it for a day, you could wait 2 weeks. But because we're trading an hour, we can wait for those better moves. Right, 1 minute to go. What do you reckon? Are we going to sweep these lows, or are we just going to reverse and fly? What are we going to do? Here it is. All right, they've gone. Yeah. Here's our 90% level, which is our current low for the day. That's gone. Friday NFP low. It's not as much data on this one. I don't trust this one as much as the intraday. So we've taken out all high probability ones that we've taken out. We've now got high probability above 73, 89, 88, right? Woohoo! That's pretty sick. That was pretty sick. So we've got one more level above for internal, and then this is the current high. And then we've pretty much, NQ's pretty much taken the majority of, like, it. This move took out the majority of the daily liquidity and just left these levels, the low, and then we've just been ranging up and down in here waiting for New York, right? And level didn't confirm. So we nearly printed a level, but it didn't confirm. A level will never get printed and then get removed. It might be as the candle's forming, it's starting to confirm. But till the candle closes, it's not confirmed. Once the candle closes, if the level's there, the level's there. That's it. I am interested to see whether we are going to drive. It's a long way. It's a long way. Let's see. Let's just check on CL. So CL took out levels above, and then we've got our cluster, if you like, and then this is current daily low, similar to Euro. So gold's taken all the levels above. It's very bullish right now. We'll see whether we can get a target down to here, maybe, at some point. Ding. Yeah, just grab that one, left the knife, the Current daily high. Didn't take the current daily high. See? Top of the range, bottom of the range broke. Take them both. Back under the zero line again. Now we have broken this level here, right? Trend AI is bearish. Are we going to have enough volume? It's a long way. £167 away. What do you reckon? Let's put our hourly data on. So if we think about the kind of New York candle in the same way, the first, it starts at past. So the first 10 minutes can almost be our first hour, right? The data's not bad using regular trading hours. So if we were to go to regular trading hours, oh, we filled a gap. High probability liquidity there as well. So yeah, we can see that we're in the first 9 minutes, right? And this is the data for regular trading hours. So by 10:02, we'll be looking at segment 2. So if we take this low, then that's given us an initial probability, plus closing below the open as well, right? First segment, closing below the open. Very, very, very early, but we want to see either side now of this go. Easier said than done sometimes. Like New York can just sit inside that range for hours on end. Oh, so the 9-minute candle is closing below. Not sure what bias that gives us. I'm not sure I've got the right return to open on. No, probably not. Lots of data. Previous high and low. No, we want segment. Open. So 66%. So when we closed below the open, 66% probability of bearish for the hour. So initial bearishness. Like that. Okay. So what do you think, guys? What do you think so far of the liquidity indicator? Happy? Solid? I think we can all agree on custom time, right? Time of day, not just day. Adding time of day. Definitely need that. What else? Can you think of anything else? It's just as well, just to kind of keep it to the... This is for intraday, right? So keep it to 1 minute. You can go up to 5 max, I'd say. Right? You can go up to 5 max, but I wouldn't go any higher than that. I wouldn't go any higher than that. I would keep it at 1 minute for the levels. We'd have to create it slightly differently if we wanted to look at higher time frame liquidity. This is more for internal. In the day, throughout the day. What levels are likely to get hit throughout the day? Oh. You can still adjust the settings, right? In here, so you could always use 2 minute levels if you wanted slightly more granular. But that's solid. We're just capturing highs, really, right? Capturing highs in times, but they are specific highs, right? Specific highs within set times, and then the likelihood of those highs going throughout the day, right? So when a high is put in during 4 o'clock in the morning, what's the probability of that high going throughout the day, right? Simples. So we've taken the high in the... Oh, I'm still in replay. My apologies. Okay. So we haven't taken any high yet. We are getting close. Got our 88% level here. So first 15-minute candle is set. So the 15-minute candle closed here. So it's going to have a big wick. Right? 44-minute. So it's got a big wick down and closed here. So we've got a... we've got a candle like this. On the 15-minute. Minute opened here. It's not that. It's more like, oh, you bugger. It's more like that. So I could just go up to 15-minute really, couldn't I? Nice drawing there. Yeah, so more wick to the downside, closed back above the open. So came down, took the low, drove back up. We actually did that in 2 candles, right? Well, 3. Bang, bang. Everybody lost. I mean, that's the difference, right? So in 3 minutes, price took out 1, 2, 3, 4 hours of price action, right? In 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Right, we just want to see higher logo. My apologies. And then we can decide from there. Anything? There you go. High's gone. That didn't take very long, did it? So we are now hunting this level. 88%. It leaves, once that's gone, the high. But it is the high of the day and we've taken the low. So I'd have to have another one that said if the liquidity was the high and low of the day, what's the probability of that one? Because obviously there'd be times when they're not the high and the low. I'd imagine if it's the high and the low, it would reduce. I was very close to not take that level. Right, I'll be 2 seconds. And it's Red Bull time. I cannot wait until we've got a dev. Telling you now. The shit that we're going to get pumped out of this once we've got a dev. Game is going to be crazy. It's more polish as well, right? I'm not great at the polish side of things. Making things easy, usability, the look of it. So I'm looking forward to working with the dev to finish everything properly. Oh, that's cold. I mean, I know we're sat here trading, but we've taken all the levels, right? Everything that we've sat here pretty much, we've sweeped them all other than this one. We took the low. We were expecting either or, right? We've already taken the high the first 15 minutes. We've closed above the open now, so that gives us more favour in closing bullish. Yeah. I think Mark will kind of... Oh, well. It's minus 3R. Nothing that isn't able to come back. The main thing is shutting off. Take the loss. Don't try and recuperate it. Walk away. Come back. Follow the rules. Think about what got you here, right? Keeping it simple. High probability setups. Take your profit. Walk away. Mark's a big advocate of 1Rs and keeping it simple. There's a lot of emotion that comes into trading longer moves, right? A lot of emotion. Hey, there you go. We all go here, right? We all go here. Last week, I think, what day was it on the trade? Was it Tuesday? Tuesday. I was chasing trades. I was on everywhere looking for a trade because I was trading on here to give you something to look at. And like, came back Wednesday, just like, not doing that. We sit here, we wait for the right trades, and we take the right trades. Or we'll sit here and not take a trade. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I smashed it. I had a fantastic week to the end, but Tuesday was terrible. And that was just because of psychology, right? Chasing trades. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a big thing for trading, keeping to pairs that you know. It teaches you patience as well, right? If something's not right, if the setup's not there, waiting for it to set up. I mean, look at Mark's backtest data on NQ, on gold. Tons of setups, right? Tons of setups. It's just about waiting. Patience is the key, right? I know when well let's go DR, right? So when we were doing DR and what was it? DR Mind came in and we were talking about that. Kind of, not that it overcomplicated it, because it was all very true and everything, but like a huge portion of your psychology is just patience. A huge portion is just waiting for the right trade that follow, and then taking that. Because most of the time, when you do that, it works out the right way anyway. It fixes a lot of the other issues. Patience. Yeah. Patience and discipline. That's why I'm excited. I'm excited for the boot camp, because it's just going to be one pair, one setup. That's it. It isn't going to be sexy. It's not going to be fun. And we're not going to go fucking chasing the rabbit hole. The boot camp will be one setup, one pair. That's it. If you can't do that for 60 days and just keep to that one setup and keep to that one system for 60 days, how are you going to keep to any system? Especially if it's completely mechanical, right? You wait for this, take the trade. Good. I'd have had it finished if I wasn't ill last week. I just could not. I recorded a few videos and it was just like, it just sounded terrible. Like, can't have people watching this of a sniffly man sat there dying on video. Like, this is not a good impression. So I have to re-record some of them. New hour. Corrective bearish did finish. So although we had, look, obviously a very choppy hour, now we kind of can settle in. Let's see how this corrective bearish sits. And we're now back above and we've taken high. We took the high of the 15 minute, right? When we put that high and low in. So let's see whether we break up. Go for those levels. Remember CL, CL, I mean, it can do what the hell it wants, right? If it wants to go up, it'll go up. But probability-wise, the levels are below, right? But it needs to switch if we're going to get there. We're bullish on dynamic on trend AI, right? We're bullish on the algo. Oh no, sorry, we just started corrective bullish. So might be the first time. Well, we'll see. And dynamic TP. If we're going to go down, we need to go under the zero line, right? Held it nicely. So I think under the zero line is going to be a big one for CL. Let's see if CL can come towards that zero line. So what I'm waiting for now, we are corrective bearish. So we're bullish, right? So ideally, I don't want to take this level. Ideally, I want to come down now, just sort of sit around here for 7 minutes. Take the high, give us an early indication of the low being in, and then we can then look for that lazy boy setup, right? Trend AI is bearish. Algo is, we're pushing down now. We are starting to switch to a sequence one, which is fine because we can now, if we do go bearish, we've got a level below, and we are bearish, so there's more in line, other than we haven't taken the low. We've already taken the... Oh, no, we haven't taken the high either. We'll see. We'll see. There's no rush. It's not a great couple of hours. Right? Better price action to come. Patience. Let's wait. Hello, gold. See, that's super nice. Right? Really, really strong trend. Really, really bullish. All the algos aligned. Right? That's very nice. See you later, Anne. Did ya? Boosh. Which was it? +1. Let's go. Hey, where was the heads up? Where was the heads up? Hey? Hey, Zoo. Look at gold. Let's have a look. Did you take the 50% or just straight off the signal? I mean, 50% either way, both paid out, right? There's the normal signal, there's the early signal, both played out. What are those segments count for? So, a segment is this. It's a period of time, right? So we take this hour in gold. And what we've done is we've broken it into 6 segments in time. Yeah. You tell Zoo then you don't want to. Pickles, you had that great trade on CL. So it's giving you time, right? So if the 6 segments, the 60 minutes in an hour, segment 1 is the first 10 minutes. So this is first 10 minutes. And what it's showing you is that a bullish candle and a bearish candle. If we're bullish, what's the probability of the high in segment 1 in the first 10 minutes? So for this example, let's split it into 3 because you can see 3 segments here, nice and clean, right? So let's adjust it and just make it 3 segments. So what's the probability if we are bullish? Which the algo's telling us, right? Algo's telling us we're bullish. What's the probability of the low being in this segment on gold? Well, there's a 75% probability. That's our low in gold. Okay? And then our high is either going to be 29% in here, and then 54%, right? So we know, for example, when we took this trade, there's over a 50% probability of a new high, while there's significantly less probability of a new low. Even here, when we got this signal and we moved into segment 2, statistically, there was only a 75% probability that, a 25% probability of that low going, but at this point we still had 29% plus 50%, right? So at that point there, what were the odds? Odds were hugely in your favour to go long, right? So a segment takes a time period and breaks it into smaller segments. And that's what your segments do. I like to use 6, so we're just looking at 10-minute segments. Bollocks, I've lost that chart again. No. Yes. And this is liquidity levels, right? So it's showing you when we've created a level based on historic times, we've created a level in a similar position. How many times by the end of the day did we take that level? So we can see this level here, 88.89% of the time, by the time the day finished, this level had been taken. So liquidity probability. But we wait for our probability confluences, right? So gold, you see, like this is range. Range. So we wait until we get some more probability, right? So right now we haven't got anything. You look at gold in the previous hour, super clean, right? Super clean. No worries, bud. And that's what Max Algo is. It's a probability-based indicators. So there's lots of different... there's not just this data. There's lots of other data as well, right? So you've got your liquidity levels, which will be out today. You've got your algo, which is giving you your probability. And then you've also got your return to open. Open stats here. So this is showing you in the first 10 minutes if we close below the open. So like this candle now. So if it's going to close below the open, and the yellow lines are open price, there's a 61% probability that then the hour will close bearish, right? So there's our first probability. But then in that we've also got return to open stats. So when we take the high or low of the previous candle or previous period, so this could be an hour, 2 hour, a day, 5 minutes, but this is just set to an hour. When we take the high in the first 10 minutes of the previous candle, there's a 76% probability of retracing to the open. Lovely bit of stats. Similar thing, instead of just returning to the open, what's the probability once we break the high then of closing bullish, right? And in the settings, you just need to pick which table you want to look at, right, and just move it into a point of where you can view it. Packed a lot of data into these. There's a lot of data. I mean, I think we've got... How many probability stats have we got now? Got hourly. Return to the open. Above and below open price. There's our sell signal. And we close, so positive, negatives. Right, positive, negatives. Positive, trend AI is bearish. Algo's sequence 1, it was flipping between the two, it doesn't matter. Dynamic TP could come under. It's getting there. Right? We do have, this is our current, we've already taken the low of the day. So there's still time to continue on that bearish. Negatives, we've taken, the last thing that we did was take the previous hour. We took the low, then we took the high, and we took the 15-minute high. Do I trade live or prop? I trade prop most of the time. And I'm a very poor trader. So you're definitely better not trading what I do, because it doesn't work. I'd go learn from Casper. No, there's backtest data. So this is built. This is built as a trading suite, right? So if you're not experienced in trading, then you can use the Lazy Boy setup, which is a mechanical system. There's data, backtest data on it. It's very successful because it's based off the algo, right? So it's a 1R system. Obviously can adjust that, and you can kind of expect between sort of 67 and 73% win rate, depending on what time of day you're taking it. It's a great system. Or alternatively, you can just use the confluences to add to your own trading, right? If you're an ICT trader, great. DR trader, great. There's a lot of people in the Discord that use parts of it with their own trading. It is not a mentorship, right? So obviously I'm always here to help. But yeah, it's not a mentorship. I haven't got time to do a mentorship. I've got kids, a business, loads of stuff going on. Do a free 10-day boot camp. Don't mind doing that because I can just segment 10 days out once a month and then free it up. If I didn't have the businesses, I would just be a full-time trader. That is my absolute all I want to do. However, when you've got a multi-million-pound business, you can't let it go to ruin, right? So I can't just sit here and trade. Do I want to sit here and trade? Yes. Was I profitable trading? Yes. Do I want to deal with staff? No, I fucking hate staff. That's just life, right? What have we got? Would you like to see my broker statements? Is that what you're after as well? Who knows? Maybe when I can code it as a bot, right? And I get all the year's data back, I might close it down. Just keep it to everybody who's already in, because it's significantly profitable as a mechanical system, right? With the algo. I don't know that. I know from the backtest data that I've got that it's very profitable, but could well be. So there's our Lazy Boy setup done. 1R. Retrace back, tagged in, took a new low. Done. There's a perfect example. 89% probability being bearish. Hourly data then matches, right? So we take the low, giving us statistically an advantage of the high. We have got additional confluences. We closed below the open. That gave us a 63% probability that this hour was going to go bearish as well. Our trend AI is bearish. You can see we transition bearish here. We took the low of the previous day. Did we take the low of the previous day? Oh, no, we haven't taken the low of the previous day yet. Just the low so far today. So when we took this trade, right, you can see right here we still have a 93% probability of more lows. So when we took this trade, statistically it was in our advantage, right, to do a nice 1R trade. So price can reverse, price can do whatever it wants. We've done our job. There's our trade. We got tagged in, targeting the low, and we're over. Finito. That is Lazy Boy. Oh, when it tagged in, was it still bearish? I was too busy talking. Let's have a look. So, sequence 1. So your limit order's on here. Tagged in, yeah. Yeah. So the algo was still in line when you took the trade. Yes, valid Lazy Boy setup. Anyone take it? I was too busy yapping. Too busy yapping. Do you know what I'm really good at? I'm really good at coming up with ideas. That's my superpower. It's why I wanted to do Max Algo, right? I am a very creative person. I always need something to keep me busy. And that's where we're trading. You don't want that. You want to be kind of just get boring, right? Which is fine when you're trading, but I wanted something else. And that's why creating the data, creating those confluences for traders, I love doing it. I love doing it. And you should do what you love, right? So like creating these liquidity levels, it's a challenge. Right, everyone talks about liquidity. Right? Everybody talks about liquidity. ICT talks about liquidity. Everybody talks about liquidity. But do they tell you what the probability is of that liquidity being taken? No, they don't. And why not? They tell you it's high probability. It's high probability, that zone. It's high probability. What is it then? And something twigged with me. I was like, why? If it's high probability, surely there's a way of proving it's high probability, right? Even, for example, inverse fair value gap. After taking previous day's low or previous day's high, what is the likelihood the first inverse fair value gap gets respected and price then returns to what level? Doesn't mean you have to take all of them, but it could still be based as a probability, right? the first fair value gap during silver bullet. Second, third, fourth. It can all be given some level of probability. And then, once you've got your probability, yes, you can improve that with skill through experience of being better at reading price, but it gives you that base level. So, yeah. I want to debunk everything, right? I want to get probability. People say this is high probability. I want to find out. So we got our 72% level below and our 72% level above. Gold's got another buy. There was another lay. Oh, hang on. So on the early signal on gold, that would have been tagged in. As well. Nope, done that wrong. Just above the open. Yes, mate. So in the where to buy? That's a good question. Let me just get the. So in the when you sign up, I've done a videos of all of it basically. There's a couple of new indicators that are releasing tonight, being the liquidity. So where's that gone? No. So there's our confirmation sell signal, right? So that confirms even more likelihoods that we've taken the low in segment 2, which gives us that above 73% probability. This is our high for the hour. Sorry, mate, I was just talking that through. So yeah, these liquidity levels, the video will come out with the indicator. So the indicator will be released tonight, and the video will be tomorrow on how this works. Just showcasing it that today. Everything else there's a video for. Lazy Boy there's a video for. And I'm doing a free 10-day boot camp soon as possible, really, for Lazy Boy. Anyone's welcome to join. If you're already in Max Algo, you can join as many times as you want. And also, you can reach out to me on the Discord. Come on lives. We explain everything. This live is for Max Algo customers. It's not really about me. It's more about people coming on and being able to showcase, learn from about the indicators. Where you can get it, you should get a redirect. If you go to maxalgo.ai, it should redirect you to WAP, and then you can take it on there. What I am going to be doing is we are going to change the pricing, not the pricing, but the model. So I don't want to have a forever monthly product. So it's going to change to be. Is it not working? Let me get you the other link. So it's going to change to being a lifetime. Let me get the link and I'll explain it. Sorry, buddy. What? Why isn't the redirect working? Right. The lows have gone. Yes, Mark. Here you go, Pinkman. So what I'm going to be doing is, so both those liquidity levels have now gone. Right, so that was 70 and 50. Crossing the zero line. So Mark, based on Mark's data, right, this is Mark's trade. And that. Levels all good. Come on. Are we going to drive down to NFP low? Ooh, don't know. Let's see. It's a very, very long way away. So what I was saying was, I want to make it so that I don't want it that people are just paying forever, right? So if you are on a monthly, I am going to change it so that there will be a lifetime price. It'll be more expensive than the lifetime that we've done because that was just way too cheap. But basically, it'll be that by a certain point, if you're paying monthly, you'd have paid for a lifetime license, and then that's it. Your monthly stops, and you've got Max Algo forever. So I just want to have it where that it's a fair price. You're either paying a cheaper price up front for getting it, paying up front, or if you're paying monthly, there is an end point, right? You're just paying towards that monthly license, and then by the time you get to that point, you've paid your monthly, you've paid your annual, you've paid for your lifetime license, and you're done. Rather than I'm forever going to be paying monthly for it, right? I think it's better that it's paid out, right? You're paying towards getting it, owning it, and then it becomes cost-free to you, right? You've had that investment, it's now yours, rather than a forever monthly cost. So, yeah, that was my my idea on the pricing. We are going to implement it. Just talking pricing in what how many months it's going to be. So I was thinking a 3 month, a 6 month. So you can have an upfront one, and then a 3 month and a 6 month, or maybe a 10 month one, just to bring the price down per month. And then basically by the time you get to that point, that's it. What I'll probably do as well is everyone who's on the monthly, I'd probably create you a custom plan where it already takes off what you've already paid, so that you're already paying towards it, and the monthly stays the same as what you were. What I wouldn't want to do is, introduce that, and then people who have already paid a couple of months, that's not gone towards the lifetime. So I'll make sure anyone who has, it'll come off that balance for you. And then I think that's better. Let me know your opinion. Is that better? More fair? I think it's more fair. I think everyone should own it outright. Once you purchase it on the WAP, you then get access to the course. So once you get it through WAP, you get access to the course. All the videos are in there. So I feel like I'm selling here. Oh wait. I might just have to do that. Sorry mate, it won't be a second, it's just taking a little bit of time to load. Here we go. So I'll take a screenshot for you. There's loads more in there. This is just an initial screenshot. So when you've purchased it, you get access to the course, the Discord, and it adds all the indicators for you, right? And here's, for example, there's more than this. This is all I could screenshot, showing you the videos, right? Understanding the algo, explaining the algo sequences, complete overview, high probability setups, understanding trend AI, dynamic TP, tips, and then there's the lazy boy and everything else. And then we Well, we're supposed to be live every day, right? We're supposed to be live every day. However, T-Bone has been poorly, and his Mac no longer supports the iOS, which then means that it no longer supports live streaming either. So he's just trying to sort that out. He's hoping to be live, and then it just means we can split it between the pair of us, right? Because it's quite a commitment to be on every day at the same time when we've both got young kids. So I've got a 1-year-old who's just turning 1 next week. If you remember me from when we started, it's impossible. She was due to be born this time last year. So she's 1. Time flies. A 4-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 15-year-old. So I have just a stupid life with loads of kids. Plus, I've got other responsibilities that I need to go to work and be involved in. So I can't, as much as I want to just sit here every day and do this, I can't do it every day. So between me and T, we try and split it up so that there's always somewhere every day. I know we want to do back testing sessions, but that's more T. He's more of the back tester. So he will be he'll be doing back testing sessions, and I know he wants to do one this week, where we're going to be doing, I'll probably do NQ, where he'll be going on, and just the live stream will be doing back testing, not sitting through live price, right? Look how mini that trade is now. Tiny. So if you did take a partial and trail, that would have given you a nice bit of extra. Now that level was 70 odd %, right? Before we took it. So yeah, you had a 72% level and a 50. So I think taking some partials there is the right thing to do, if you did. Or taking your profit there is absolutely fine. Our next level down is here. It's all the way down here. And then our high probability one, which is NFP low on Friday, which is 80%, is here. Is it going to go all that way? I mean, obviously, I don't know. But we'll see. We've still got these 2 levels above as well. And this is our, I don't expect this to go as our high, right? One of them's got to stay. Usually. Let's have a look at CL. GG, by the way, everyone who took the trade. So CL is continuing to go up, leaving all this data below. Which is interesting. We're very bullish on CL though, right? 71% strong bullish. Trend AI above the 0 line. Nothing showing bearish. Until Trend AI comes below the 0 line, don't even think about shorting until everything's aligned. Right now, everything's telling us bullish. This is just an idea. This is a concept. This is where price could go to. To get there, we have to take lows. We have to switch bearish, etc., etc., right? So, good doesn't mean you just blind. We want to see all those things align, right? We closed above the 0 line. First probability being bullish. We took the previous high. Bullish. Bullish, 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 bullish. Let's just wait, right? Gold has... We're still bullish on gold, but we have taken the low. So it might be a first indication of a potential starting to reverse now. I know, again, we've got those gold levels below. So gold could go there before CL does, right? We're red. We need to come down to the 0 line. We are still bullish on dynamic TP, but yeah, that's an interesting one to watch out for gold. think we'll stick with NQ. So it's the only level. So look at all these, right? We've got a 13, an 11, 0, 0, and 80%. It's the only one. Feels like we're going for it, right? Green, red line. Green, red line, green, red line, green, red line, green, red line. Green, red line. Green, red line. Oh, these levels. Here, yeah? This is your... Have you ever heard of... Well, I'll just do it on this. So, this is your average price moves. Okay? So what that's doing is it's taking... Because we're on an hour, it's taking every data from every other hour, and it's giving you the trimmed mean. So I'm getting rid of the top 5% of data to try and get a better average. And then it's showing you this is the average level, this is the average level. What's the probability of price hitting it? So the bearish, so 19% of price hit this average. So this is average, not max. Average. This is like a move past the average, right? But only 19% of bearish candles, based on the last 158, actually hit that level. This is 50% of the mean, which is 44%. And then this gives you the grey lines. So this is your manipulation. So this kind of area here is price can often move up to the pullback between this sort of level here and then go in the other direction. So if you're expecting bearish price, right, then this can be a great area to kind of look where price might reverse from. So where you get your manipulation and then your distribution, right? Oh, I can't see us coming this far and not coming for NFP low. I mean, obviously it might do over it once, but feels like we should, right? I need that. Where is it? I'll get it. Hang on. Oh, what's he called? If it does. Man, whoever created that. Legendary. We got 20 minutes. We've got still got a 52% probability of another low. There's still time. And this is what I was saying about when you get to this kind of point, right, sort of 42, 43 minutes, that's where you don't want to be entering trades kind of past that point, right? So we got a new level getting created here, which is an 84% probability of going today. That's quite a strong one, especially since obviously later on and that is by close of business. So interesting. Should we have a look at that data? That was a beautiful crossover, zero line, sell signal, and our drop. This has been my thing for 4 years. This has. So that level is now confirmed. We have an 84% probability of taking that level today, which means more lower price, right? We have got another 118 points to go. Well, if we take the low, because we're expecting another low, right? So if we take the low, another 68 points to the NFP low. Went on a bit of a rant today. The thing is like, it doesn't even matter about me, right? Because it's not based on me. It's based on data. It's based on shit happening. And these are the results for those shit happening. That would have been my entry. But I was too busy ranting at you. Yeah, that would have been my entry. So the reason being is because that's the highest probability point of getting in, right? Either at the sell signal here, like Mark did, or at the 50% retracement, and then I'd have partialed. And to be fair, it depends, because I don't have to target the 80%, right? I don't have to. I don't have to. I can just take me 1R trades. Like, it's very profitable. 73% win rate on a 1R system. It's very good, right? Yeah, you. Yes, you, Pigman. I'll never forget it. No, it's all good, buddy. What I don't want to do is I don't want to encourage like stupid shit like we're going for a 54R, right? Like, whatever. It's about keeping it simple. Just take your profit, make your money, and get out. If you want to hold something longer, fine. Take your profit, right? And trail or take partials. We could have taken a partial here and then a partial at continued levels, right? What I will look for is next hour. I still have a reason to go lower, so I like using it as a reason to go lower. So if we confirm in the next hour bearish again, then I've still got, you know, a level that's high probability. And I think that's kind of useful for me. This is kind of how I see it. It's like there's a reason to go lower, so there's a reason to get to my target, whether it's just 1R or 2, doesn't matter. I know obviously with prop firms as well, if you're in trailing drawdown, you just don't want to be holding a trade and then it come flying back on you. Because even though you're not wrong, you can lose the challenge or the account just from being in profit and it coming back. So remember, we still had above 50% probability of another low. That'll update after this next candle, not this one after. This level when it was created, so we have created a high now, right, of 82%. So potentially we can, if we did make it down to here, right, and then started to mess around, and then we start going bullish, we've got other targets above that we can look at. We shall see. Yeah, I think there's some. What I would say, Pinkman, is there's some amazing people in the Discord who are, you know, great traders like Mark, disciplined, hardworking, puts in the time, back tests the data, knows it for himself. I'm sure he's got his own little twists on everything. You know, and there's people who use it in conjunction with other ways they trade, right? And it just adds as a confluence. It's funny because I wanted it to be more of a confluence suite, right? More of a confluence suite, more of a helping all traders with their style to add more confluence, which it does. But then in itself, obviously, it's created its own setups, its own probability setups, like Lazy Boy. Transition trades are amazing, right? It's just created its own style of trading, really. It's entering with probability. And really entering with probability. You know, we can see this data, Pinkman, right? It's 193. So, 10-minute segment, right? 1,800. Probabilities haven't much changed. Still pretty much the same. And that's how you know this data it's accurate, right? Because lower down, higher time. I'm going to do... Hang on. Give me the camera. Fire! That's amazing. So 1,800 records, right? Oh, love it. That's amazing. Appreciate that, buddy Mark. Thank you very much. New low. It's just... Where's he gone? Get back here. Hey. Money, profit. You got in the market. You got out the market. Win. Well done. Well done. Boosh. I'm not happy with Top Step X. Not happy. I had massive slippage with them. I've currently got a ticket with it. That's why I'm back trading on Ninja Trader. I opened a trade and I was already $280 down. It wasn't even close to anything. Fucking miles away. Yeah. But I'm sure they'll fix it and sort it out. I love the idea though of locking the account, right? I know it's not in the best interest for prop firms, but it's definitely in the best interest for traders to lock your account away. And if you do use Ninja Trader, there is a system called... I can't remember what it is, but you can have it on Ninja Trader so that you can lock out Ninja Trader from being able to take trades. So even if you are using other prop firms, you can download the add-on. I think it's like Guardian Angel, I think it's called, or something like that. And yeah, it'll lock it out for you as well. I'm just so used to trading. I like having my setups, right? So on Ninja Trader, I can just drop down and select my system, how many contracts I want to use, TP1, TP2, break even, just bang, trade done, all the management's there for me. Just got used to using it. Although I do want to have a look at, I am interested in having a look, what's it called now? I can't remember the name of it. There's a lot of people who use it on streams as a trading platform. It's got a built-in trade copier as well. I think it's like $49 a month. So it could be a really good solution for new people looking to take a platform with prop firms that they can copy trade from. Quant something? Quant Tower. Quant Tower. I want to try that. I want to try Quant Tower. See how that goes. Is anybody using it? It is Quant Tower, isn't it? Quant Tower. Yeah. Or is it just changed now? They can't. You used to be able to pick the product that you wanted. Maybe when you download it, you can do that first. Oh, here we go. All in one. Ah, you can get an extension package. Yeah, because you don't need all of it. I'm sure it's like $49 a month for the extension package. Yeah, I think there's a 10-day trial. I think there's a 10-day trial. You can give it a go. My God, it's time has flown. So that was the setup that we were waiting for. I missed. Early trade would have been a loss on gold. I don't even know whether that would have come good. Let's have a look. No. Yeah, so just would have been a loss on gold if you'd have taken the early. No normal signal. After the 10 days. After the 10 days. Come on. New hour. So we're going to go into a sequence 2. Is wow, yeah. I think we're getting NFP low. I'm going to say it. I think we're getting it. I think we're getting it. So we could look for another short, right? Ah, you bugger. This level. We're having it. We're having it. Come on. Hey, Pinkman, you from the UK? Pounds? No dollar? That is a new indicator. New one. I will be publishing in... So I like to... Once I've got it to a point where you can use it, but it still needs a few things tweaking, right? I like to put it into beta and let people use it. And then I can tinker just to fix the few things from it. So it's the original liquidity levels from Impossible, right? But I've just concept how to put probability into it. My baby. Yeah, man. And that's kind of what I want to keep to, or try and keep to on Max Algo, right? Is backing it up with data. So it's not just my opinion, right? It's data based. So it's not about what I think. It's doesn't matter what I think, right? It's the data's there, so that's just what it is. I think that's what's really important. It's what keeps it honest and true, right? It's not, you're not taking my word for it. You can see the data yourself and back test it and have a look at it and know that it's true. And I think I like it. It's like a real, honest So like most indicator suites, right? So I don't want to use Lux Algo as an example, but Lux Algo, like back in the day, it's just right. It's not a profitable thing, right? It's just an indicator. They might claim their signals, but none of them are profitable. Who else is another one? Gains Pro. There's loads of them. Smart Algo. They're not profitable systems, right? They're an indicator, and with experience, you might be able to get profitable with it, but their signals alone are not profitable. And a lot of time it's like reversal zone. Okay, what's the probability of it reversing from that zone? It's really simple, right? And it's not even like you could easily do it. When it hits the area, what's the probability of returning to the mean? Right? Hit outside, return to mean. How many times does it do it? How many times does it fail? Boom, probability. I'm going to have to do that now, aren't I? I feel like I should do that. So yeah, it feels good that creating something of value, right, that helps traders actually means something. Because even like market structure, most market structures don't give that much of a statistical edge. There is one market structure that I have yet to build and probability, which I will do eventually. But that'll be interesting, which is the photon market structure. I've done some of the others, and you know, you don't get a huge advantage. But with the data that we're playing with, right, we've got above 70%. That's really rare. Getting that high level probability, like with the hourly data, like with above the open, taking the previous high, right? They're all significant stats, and there's data that have built that didn't give that much of an edge, but this has made a difference. And actually, when you look at historic, it's more about what's happening now than what the previous did that impacts probability the most. I have got a really interesting one though that I'm still working on, which I find very interesting, but I just need to make sure I get it right. We're going to Elmo it. We were there last night, right? We're going to build the indicator, looking at the levels, put it on X. NFP low, 80% probability of hitting it. It's going to reverse now, isn't it? Just before. So we're 7 minutes in. We're below the open. We could do with coming back a bit now, right? We could do with coming back a bit. Volume's pretty high. And volume had to be high to be able to get this far down, right? .67 points on a 1 minute candle. So once we've hit this, all these levels are 0 pretty much, right? Which means most of the time we don't take them. So it'll be interesting to see how we do with them. We are very bearish. There's Friday's low. No. That is Friday's low. Friday's low. So, let's have a look what we've got. Whoo, whoo. 60 points to the top. And 26 to the low. So we're now closer to NFP low than we are to the current hour high. Motherfucker. Well, that's a mess. They're all going to be a mess because I haven't fixed them. Just leave them too. Well, yeah. Yeah, it's looking mighty bearish. I love shorting. If I could pick one side, I would just short. Much prefer going short than I do going long. Oh, come on. So mean. It's the last bit of data. Last bit of data. Boom. Probably just got lucky, right? Probably just got lucky. Now, we are super bearish. We've hit our main data points. Remember, if we're going to go up and come for this level, then we have to switch bullish, right? So till that point, we remain bearish. It is looking like it wants to continue. So I would imagine that some of these levels will stay unhit, right? They're not 100%. There are times they go on hit. Yeah, I would say that these levels will remain, especially the top, right? It's definitely not going to get hit. Yeah, everything you get when you're a paying customer, you get in the trial. It's no different. No different. You get everything. So is NFP low gone? NFP low gone? Are we now going to do a Swifty? Who knows? Well, that has been enjoyable. It's been great seeing all of the levels that we came on with, right? So when we started today, last night, right? We started last night with these high probability levels. So it was NFP low, which was 80%. And then it was these levels that were high probability. And then as the day switched, we took out all those levels. And then we went for NFP low, which was Friday's low. Nice reaction off it. No coupon. You're getting a free trial. Tell you what, Pinkman. Where are you in the UK? I bet you're a Yorkshireman. There is no coupon. Oh, lifetime coupon. I didn't think the lifetime was still available, is it? We finished that for Black Friday. Is that still on there? Is T not taking it down? Well, I can tell you now, that lifetime, at the price that it is going up to 1,000 at least. Is it still on there? Where is it? I'm going to remove it. Where is it? Do 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 do. Where is it? Where is it? Where am I? Bear me a second. Won't be a minute. I'm just having a look now. Just at the right ones. Must be in the hub. Oh. Oh, come on. What is this? Oh my god. It is a pain. Right, discover, dashboard, dashboard. Sorry, they've changed everything round. No. He has, he's left it live, little cheeky monkey. Where is it? I'm not getting things out of You can see me physically trying to figure it out. Like, where's this gone? Where is it? Let's have a look. Right, Pinkman. Because we've just had NFP low and then reversed, I'm feeling very generous. I am going to take that down. Tonight it is going. If you use your name as a coupon code, you'll get 10%. It's got a one-time usage. And does it expire? If I put an expiry on it? Yeah, it's just got a one-time usage. You can get 10% off. But I am going to remove the lifetime after tonight because it shouldn't be on there. It should just be... I was just for Black Friday. And our launch offer. And I haven't yet figured how to remove it. I need to speak to T-Bone first. That's why I can't remove it. Oh, amazing. That's funny. But yes, Pitman, everything will be explained. If you need any help, I'm always there. I'll continue to do videos, continue to update the course. I have been ill the last week, which is why I've not done any videos, because I just sound like a just horrible. So coming out the other end of it now, and I'll have a load more videos put up as well. Liquidity, look to look to get the liquidity out tonight, guys. The only thing is, as soon as I put it out, right, you're going to find issues with it, aren't you? And then it's going to be... And then I'm back on it again, having to work on it. So I'll do it and then go to bed so that I can't see anything. Otherwise, I'll be up again late. I need a good night's sleep. Nice reversal off of our NFP low. Why didn't we take the next one? Maybe we will. Nice one. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. So it makes sense, right, that NQ's delivered what it needed to do. And we have... Do you remember these levels? And I was saying, ooh, possibly, could it be that NQ, that CL flips and then goes bearish? So, although it's very bullish, what do we need to see? We need to see this come below that zero line, right? And we're on our way. So if we go down time frames, the 30 seconds is nearly there. We have just crossed over a few times. Yeah. As where the 1 minute. Even hardly. We'll probably create some structure, right? So we'll probably create, maybe we'll take this high and create our low like that, and then the next hour we'll get closer to that zero line possibly, and then we'll take this low, and then that gives us our first indication of going bearish, and then you'll get your hour. You'll either have this will be the corrective, and you'll have a drop, and then it'll start the next hour and go like that. And it'll be something like this. Possibly. Take the low, then have a nice drop, little pullback, or sometimes not even a pullback, and then it's fucking if it's going to go. But we have to see everything else align, right? It's very bullish. So there's gold's low from the previous hour, right? We haven't taken the low. Haven't come over the zero line yet. We are corrective bullish, but we're putting in highs in this hour. Did get a sell and then broke above. So wait on that as well. ES went through most of its data. That's the current low. Ooh, yeah, that's the current low. So it's just created that 63%. It did take out all of this data here. Done. And is now taking out the high for the hour. Let's see. Yeah, you can set an alert, right? So if you go CL and then click alerts, create a new alert, and then you can select oh, I'm on the oh, sorry. You have to click on the right window. Make sure you're on the right window and not just the algo. I was like, I'm sure I've created that. Sure that's there. And then we can go dynamic TP. Crossing down. 0. Like that. Create your alert. Boosh. Ping you on the mobile phone. Sneaky, sneaky. And if you want to get alerted a little bit more, so what you could do is you could go like, so this low here is 0.03. So we could edit that to say once we've taken that low, that's probably going to cross, right? Just give us a little bit of space ahead. Yeah, man. I like that. Who thinks NQ? So that's a nice wick, right? V shape is a wick on a higher time frame. See? That's our wick. Why is it black? Oh, okay. Right. V shape is a wick. So we've got 84% for this level. This is what we were saying, kind of like probable it could come back into the range, right, and take this high. Any DR traders? There's your DR level, right? That'll be DR. IDR, DR. So we can take the level, come back to the DR. Here is the high of the DR, right? So statistically, we don't expect the top to go, right? So that could give you an indication of which liquidity to target as well, right, with DR. I'm going to have to tell Pickles. He was talking about DR, wasn't he? How could that help him? Well, once you got confirmation, where's your high probability levels below, right? Or high probability above? Or have you got none and it could be a false day because they're all below? Ooh, I like it. It's certainly better than the last 10 years this level was hit. Having a level that has actual relevance for this day, on the day. So we haven't taken the high on NQ, so ES has taken the high already, which is interesting. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm going to get banned from YouTube, I know, for bad language. I'm sure I am. Gold's coming to that zero line. Where's the gold levels? Here they are, right? Could that be gold's little retracement to here? So what we'd want to see for gold is we want to see this hour push down, change to a bearish, sequence 1. This come under the zero line. This will take this low. That means that we've then had a bear. We've taken the previous hour low as well. Start a new hour. Give us the signal. Probably wouldn't take 50%. I'd probably just take the signal. And we've got a reason to go lower, right? Maybe we might then... I still wouldn't target these lows. I would partial. Remove risk. Get you 1R. But, yeah. We have a 91% probability of this level. And it's not even today's low, right? So today's low is down here. So we can quite easily come to this level, take it, be a very bullish day. I mean, obviously we've got a lot of levels further down that are very, very high probability. But even just these, it's a decent move on gold, right? So that could be a nice setup on gold. But we need to see those things come about, right? Algo will switch. Well, it's been a fun session. I've enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for coming on. It's been good. Looking at the levels, right? Watching. We had a lazy boy setup, played out brilliantly. You guys caught some great trades on it. It's lovely to see. People finished for the day. Yeah, man, I've enjoyed it. I really appreciate everyone coming on. You know, I appreciate the support. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks, Mark. Thank you, everyone. Pigman, it was nice to meet you. Don't you be causing any more trouble. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye, 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 bye.